What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Just Breathe, the podcast for Black moms and mom adjacent women by Black moms and mom adjacent women, talking about episodes that us Black women need to know about and have to talk about. So today we're going to talk about something that is something that we talk about often, especially as Black women: self-care. But we're going to talk about self-care from a different perspective. Not like, oh, let's go get our nails done. Let's go get pampered. Let's go do all of these cute things, because that is a common misconception about self-care. And today we're going to talk to Mercedes Williams, who is going to talk to us a little bit about what self-care really should be and if it is attainable or not. So Mercedes, first and foremost, welcome to Just Breathe. I'm so glad to spend some time with you today. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
So as she said, my name is Mercedes Williams. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, the owner of UNI Family Wellness, which is a mental health private practice, and we service individuals, couples, and families.
Did y'all hear that Black woman say she is the owner of UNI Family Wellness? I just wanted to run that back for the people in the back. She's a Black woman, and she's young, and she owns her own mental health practice. So give it up for her first and foremost. All right, so let's talk about self-care.
Yes.
I want to talk about this statistic that I saw. The Canadian Mental Health Association, they noted that self-care is frequently misunderstood as pampering and truly ignoring and its idea of it maintaining mental health and wellness. So that really self-care is not attainable and it's a myth. So talk to us a little bit about what is self-care and what is it from like just a mental health perspective.
So let me see. You got your phone? According to my watch, my phone has 86% right now.
Okay.
It has that because I charged it. Self-care is charging yourself. Literally, that's what self-care is. How do we keep ourselves charged mentally, spiritually, emotionally, socially, in all those different areas? How do I charge myself? And we don't think about how we charge everything else in our life, but self-care is how do I recharge?
Oh, that is good. That is simple. So the episode is over. Self-care is like just recharging yourselves. I absolutely love that analogy of recharging ourselves. So what about mentally? Like, what is that doing for us? First of all, let's go back. Where did we get this idea that self-care is like, I got to blow the budget. I got to go, I'm going to go buy the Louis bag and the Gucci bag. And that's retail therapy is a real thing. I'm going to go fill myself up and then I'm going to come home and now my credit card just ran up and I still don't feel any better. I'm not recharged. So where did that even come from?
The media, the people that want us to buy the things that they are. Like, I love the fact that we talk more about mental health. I love the fact that self-care, it's a buzzword now, but it's being pushed to us from people that's trying to benefit from it, right? So that's why it's thought about as spa days. And not that those things aren't helpful, right? So also there is a misconception that coping and self-care is the same thing, and it's not, right? So I might go spend a day at the spa if I'm really stressed out, and that might have just helped me cope and get through today, but that's not necessarily the same thing as self-care, right? So I think a lot of times, and they can overlap, but a lot of times people view them as the same. And coping is meant to help us through a specific situation or emotional response, right? Self-care is to recharge us. They are not the same thing. So your spa day might help you cope through these kids at home, but it might not be self-care, right? Especially if the whole time I'm getting my manicure and my pedicure, I'm like, girl, let me tell you what he did. Let me tell you what he said. And then they had the nerve. That is not self-care at all. Right? I'm more focused on the things that are draining from me and I'm not pouring into me.
Girl, I might as well throw all of this in the trash. Like, what? Coping is not the same as self-care. And we're actually just coping by going to get our nails done or because we do vent.
Exactly. Now they can overlap, but the purpose of the two is different, right? So the purpose of self-care is to pour back into me, right? To get myself to a spiritually, mentally, emotionally, socially whole place. The point of coping is how do I get through this difficult emotion or situation? So although they can overlap, the purpose is not the same, right? So relaxation, I tell everybody, you don't have to relax in your self-care. That can be a unintentional response, but that's not the goal. I'm an extrovert. I do self-care with people. Like, I want to talk, I want to have fun, because that's what charges me mentally and emotionally.
But not about your situation that's draining you.
Exactly. Well, we're not going to come and I'm going to say, come on, let's go to my house. And all the time, like, you know what he did, you know what he said. And then, like, this is draining. This is not recharging me. Right? It did help me release, and we all need to release. But now that you pushed everything out, what are you putting back in? What are you putting back in?
That is so good. And I think that's such a great reminder, because we are trained to believe that self-care is all about getting it out and going to do these expensive things and going to do these things that don't necessarily recharge us, but it's a moment away. Like a moment away is self-care. Like that's it. And that's all.
And then I would say it could be though, right? So one of the misconceptions I think people have about self-care is that it's time consuming. And it don't have to be. You get up 5 minutes, have your tea, sit in your corner and get yourself together. That's self-care if you're pouring into yourself, right? So it doesn't have to be. It can be a day off work. It can be a mental health day. It can be all those things. But it's not just what we do, it's how we do it. Let me say that. And am I doing it with the intention to give myself what I need, or am I doing it to escape? Which can sometimes give you the same release, but am I pouring back into me?
But it's not sustainable. So I'm not being recharged. So we have to look at self-care as that, like you said, like looking at your watch and saying, what is it that I need to do to get myself back to 100%, but in a healthy way?
Yes.
What are some things that are healthy ways of truly having a self-care day?
So this is why I tell everybody, first you have to do what works for you. Because what I like and what you like and what I need and what they need is not the same thing.
So there's no prescription.
There is none. Self-care should be enjoyable. First thing everybody will tell me is, I go to the gym. Okay. Do you like going to the gym? Are you stressed because you got to go to the gym? Do you hate 7 o'clock because that's your gym time? Then that's not your self-care. It's bringing more anxiety and more angst than it is recharging. So the gym can be a good coping mechanism. Like when I work out, it brings my anxiety down. Great, but it's not self-care, right? So you have to do things you like, things you enjoy, things that are going to make you feel better and view the world better, right? So it doesn't look the same for everybody. My self-care and my sister's self-care is totally different. She lock herself in the room, no lights, no nothing, just chill. And she come out like, woo! Like, girl, that is not good for me. That's depressing. But it's not. That's how she recharge. And I'm going to recharge in a room of 100 people, just talking about nothing. And that's how I recharge, right?
See, I think we've just been so misled, especially as Black women, right? Because we lean into the stereotype of, I got to be the strong Black woman. I have to be the strong Black woman. And the only way that I can take that moment away is if I go do something expensive. So talk a little bit about that stereotype of the strong Black woman and what it's doing to us.
I think the idea that self-care is a reward is a myth that's across everybody, but I think it impacts Black women because of the strong Black woman thing, right? So I'm supposed to be able to do this. I'm supposed to carry this. I'm supposed to be able to juggle all this stuff. I don't need a reward. I don't need a break. Everybody does. We're all human. Everybody needs to recharge. Nothing works without recharging. Nothing. Or you're going to crash and burn, right? So the idea that I don't have to take time for me because I'm a Black woman and I'm magic and we do this is so false. It's just so false. Like it doesn't make sense. It's not sustainable. You are a strong Black woman emotionally holding on by a thread. That's not healthy, right? That's benefiting none of us. So self-care should be a routine. It don't have to be every day. Once a quarter, checking in with yourself. If I have clients that I tell, like, just journal, right? Journal your positives and your negatives of the day. But make sure you do the positives because we're trying to pour into ourselves, right? It should be something that we're doing intentionally and frequently. And not just, oh, I had a hard day at work, week at work. I'm going to give myself some self-care and I'm about to go get a massage. Okay, great. But now what, right?
Girl, you just blew my whole understanding of self-care because I do look at self-care as a reward. Like I work hard, so now I get to go play hard. You know that whole, I work hard, I'm going to play harder. And then I regret my playing hard because either I'm tired or I'm hungover or now I'm broke.
It's kind of the same concept as people on a diet, like, oh, I got cheat days. And, some people say, well, dieting is a lifestyle, so there's no such thing as a diet. And I get it. Cheat days are important. We all need days when we don't care. And we just want to release and we just want to let go.
Yeah.
But that's not always equal to your self-care, right? And some of the things we do are unhealthy. Not throwing shade at anybody who partakes in alcoholic beverages and adult beverages, right?
Yeah.
However, if all I did was get drunk, then I wake up in the morning, what did I give myself?
Drunk. A hangover. A hangover. That's all. And that's self-care.
Now, if I was enjoying myself and on accident, I happen to be drunk, then when I wake up and I got some memories and I'm like, oh, I had so much fun and that really what I needed, then that could be self-care.
But not just, it has to be unintentional.
No, not like let's go take 5 shots. Because how was that? I mean, that could be fun, but that's not self-care.
Girl, this is such just eye-opening for me because I know for a fact that I am one of those women that is like self-care is my reward. It's something that I give myself if it's always contingent upon me doing a thing or me feeling like I might be pissed off at my husband and be like, you know what I'm about to go do? I'm going out to the Gucci store and I'm going to buy, and now I'm mad.
And that's coping.
Do you hear me?
And now I'm mad.
And now my bank account is mad because I shouldn't have done that thing, but I did it because I felt like I justified it by telling myself I deserve it.
So that was a short-term fix, which can be okay. Now, if I go to the store and I buy this Gucci bag, that hurt my bank account, so that's another situation. But then if I wake up and I'm like, you know what, I can carry my new bag, I need to go be great. Maybe that can be self-care. Very likely it is not, because that bag is a tangible item that we not really that emotionally connected to.
That's true.
And so a lot of people use retail therapy, and I get it. Again, use it to cope for whatever your moment is, but that should not be your self-care.
Is that really a form of therapy? Is that just something that we say?
I think if we understand what coping is, right? So if I am stressed and I'm like, you know what, I've seen these shoes and I really love them, and I've really been thinking about, let me just go do that and unwind, right? Then that can be coping with my stress, a tool that I shouldn't be your only tool, but a tool that I use, but it's short term. So when I leave that store, now I'm out of money and time. So now what else I'm gonna do? To pour back into me, because that makes me feel good, and when I wear them, I'm gonna be fly, I'm gonna be so happy. So that might do something for a part of me. But remember, self-care is about like us as a whole and getting balance, right? So it should be recharging and creating balance for us. So if it made me feel great in that moment, I'm gonna look good tomorrow when I go to work in my new shoes, but then I'm stressed because of my finances, that didn't help me stay balanced.
I didn't do anything.
Exactly.
So how do we unlearn that? How do we unlearn the idea that coping is self-care? How do we unlearn that, and then how do we replace it with true self-care?
So what we do is we replace it. I'm not going to say try to unlearn it, but we would tell ourselves and remind ourselves that self-care is recharging. How do I get myself to a balanced, healthy, whole place? And that's not going to be a one-time thing, right? It's going to be consistent, because I'm a person and I do things and I'm busy and I'm in a hustle and bustle of life. And every day, every little thing add up and it's draining me, which that's the circle of life. Right? That's the process. So I'm going to have to consistently pour back into myself.
Jesus. So it's not a one-time fix. No. It's something that we're going to have to practice.
And you have to be intentional about it. I mean, life is busy. So I tell people, put on your calendar. If you create a routine, it's easier. So I do have clients. I feel like it's a celebrity. I was going to say Denzel Washington, but it might not have been. So let me not misquote him. They said they intentionally wake up like an hour early, don't look at their phone till like 7, give themselves all this quiet time. Like, that's a self-care routine. If quiet is what you need, because I don't need quiet. Quiet drives me crazy. So I need music, right? So I intentionally give myself, after I put my kid to sleep, I take my shower after her, so I ain't got to be rushed. And I intentionally turn on the songs that I like and give myself time before I lay down, where I can just have mommy time and don't have to worry about, what they say in that song, let me turn this off, right? So, and that's what I need for my daily dose of self-care. And then I have those big self-care days when I'm like, no, actually today I'm going to just focus on me. And what does that look like? Am I going to journal? Am I going to meditate? Am I going to do all these different things that work for me? And sometimes that is, I want to take a trip. I want to go see something beautiful. I want to go do something. But being intentional about what we choose and what it gives us.
So how do people find what jazzes them? Like, how do you find, what are some, if you don't know, and this is the first time somebody is hearing that I'm actually coping and broke and hungover, and I'm really not.
What a bad combination.
I mean, you know, you're broke, you hungover, and I'm still not recharged. Like, I'm still not doing anything. So how do you find your thing? Like, how do you know that that's the thing?
Start by searching, what do I value and what do I enjoy?
Talk to the people.
So I value relationships. I'm an extrovert, so I fill up and I'm in charge, and I enjoy being around people. Not just being around people, but connecting with people, sharing with people. So I value that. So my self-care will largely include somebody else, whether it be a kid, a sibling, friends, whatever. Typically for my social and mental self-care, it will include someone else, because that's what I value and that's what I enjoy. My spiritual self-care is I'm going to go to church, if not every Sunday, as many Sundays as I can, because that's my spiritual self-care. I need that environment to help me spiritually recharge myself, right? So what do you value? What do you enjoy? Now, if you don't like it, please don't make it your self-care tool. I'm going to start cooking. Is that something you like doing? Because some people cook and they sing and they having a good time, and this is them time to like really, and that's great. That ain't me. So I'm never going to say I'm going to cook for my self-care, because that's not me.
That's stressful.
Because now I'm like, did I put enough in? Oh, Lord, what an oven. Okay, so that's stressful for me. So that's not my self-care. Just start with what you value, things that are important to you, and what you enjoy. And it's simple. And then you do trial and error. And you might be like, that didn't really make me feel like nothing. So don't do that one next time.
Girl, I get that. Because I try so hard to meditate. And because everybody was meditating. So like all of my friends, I have my best friend, like if she don't meditate, she is not a happy
And that's a
person.
self-care.
And that she gets up every morning and she has to spend time by herself. I know not to text her until after a certain time. If we went on vacation, she was like, you know what I'm going to do? Yep, go do that, because you are not nice if you do not meditate. So I kept feeling like something's wrong with me. I don't meditate. I tried. I was like, send me a guided meditation. I'm sitting there and then I'm opening one eye and then I'm like, how do people do this? I I'm hearing voices. I'm thinking about what I got to do when I get out of here. I'm like, I'm doing the practices. I'm in my head going, okay, count to 10, count to 10. And then next thing you know, either I fell asleep or I'm looking around the room at things that I need to do while I'm in that room. I just couldn't do it. And I felt like something was wrong with me because I was supposed to be able to meditate.
Well, meditation is a hard one. It does take practice. Like, it took a long time for her to get there. And I tell people who want to start, mindfulness, which is kind of a form of meditation, or
Yeah.
spiritual meditation, is a really good place to start because it kind of helps you through it. The concept is that when I'm meditating, I'm supposed to block out everything. And it
Yes.
takes years to get there. So when you learning how to meditate, the goal is when those thoughts come to be able to just push them back. Not to like let them derail what your focus is.
I was on
But it took a lot of
task.
practice for that.
I was on
So you
task.
dive in like, I'm gonna do a 15-minute meditation.
Yes.
No, it take years.
I turned it on like, all right, 15 minutes by myself. This is self-care. This is what you're supposed to do. Couldn't get past 3 minutes.
But that's something you don't enjoy. So I
No.
would not tell you to do, even if it's something that you learn to do for coping, which is what a lot of people start doing it for. If it's not something you enjoy, then don't do it. Like, I exercise a little bit every now and again because it does help with like anxiety and getting your spirits up.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it. That ain't my self-care.
No.
Right. So I actually, for me, cleaning. I enjoy cleaning. So cleaning to me can be self-care. And it's probably because that's about the only thing I do like doing by myself is to clean. So, because I don't want you in my way. Don't touch my stuff. But that's self-care for me. And I've been that way since I was a kid. Like, I'm just going to clean up to kind of get myself back in the space that I need to be in. So you really just got to know yourself. And what works for you works for you. It is not a prescription. We can't just pass them out like aspirin. It don't work like that.
See, and I think that is what we think, right? I think most people think like me, and not that y'all don't want to be like me, but we see somebody else doing something, and we're like, oh, I'm gonna do that. She goes to the gym to like release stuff. I know that wasn't my thing because I hate going to the gym, so I ain't even try that one. I go to the gym because I want to lose weight,
Exactly.
not because that's
for a different purpose.
Yeah, for a different purpose. But there's people who like go for a run, or my daughter goes shooting. She goes to the gun range, and like that's her form of like recharging herself. She comes back a happier person, and I'm just like, guns give me anxiety. So just trying to figure out. That's good advice, to figure out like, how do I figure out what my thing is, something that I enjoy and something that recharges my battery. That is such a good way of looking at it.
And if you're really struggling, nothing wrong with copying off somebody else. You just got to ask yourself, did I really like that? Did it really help me? There's a bunch of stuff you can Google. They got 1,000 lists. The most important thing is remembering the purpose. It's to help me put stuff in, to recharge me, to fill me back up. That's what the goal should be. Not relaxation is a byproduct. It could happen, but it's okay if you're not relaxed and in your whole self-care time. Like, that's totally okay because that's not the purpose.
Is therapy self-care?
It can be. So I get a lot of clients that say that therapy is their self-care. Like, this is my time for me when I come work through my stuff. Now, the tricky part is sometimes you leave a session, you don't feel good. You don't feel filled up. You just don't.
You're not recharged.
We working through some stuff, and this was a hard one. So we try to get you there at the end of every therapy session, but we don't. So it can be. The point is, if you routinely go to therapy and that's something that you use to help pour into yourself, then yes.
My goodness, you just completely. I feel like self-care is almost like this myth that we have bought into, that self-care is this thing that you go pick up off the shelf and you're like, today I did self-care, and you hold on to it, but you don't feel any better.
And that was not self-care at all.
See?
And not necessarily even feel better, but do I feel more balanced, right? So like, if I'm struggling, whether it be grief, whether it be stress, whether it be financial worry, self-care ain't gonna take all that away, by no means.
Yeah.
But do I feel more balanced? Do I feel like I'm equipped now to go function in life more than I was yesterday before I did my self-care, right? That's the goal. Like, how do I get that balance? How do I get to as closest to whole that I can be? Because we give out ourselves, especially as moms, right? Then especially as Black moms, because we got all the other social issues in the world on our shoulders. And then this idea that we have to be strong and I have to be perfect and I have to. That's a lot. So everybody needs time to say, okay, I'm just be me right now. And I'm going to just focus on me and pour into me and whatever that may look like. Hopefully, It's healthy things that are not harming us,
Yeah.
right? So, and I tell everybody, I'm not judging anybody to use any substance, that whether it be coffee, marijuana, alcohol, whatever. But the idea, if it's causing you more harm than benefit, then that's not a healthy tool to use, right? So if I'm a diabetic, don't tell me I'm about to bake these cookies, because okay, the baking was the self-care, but then you kind of counteract it because now your sugar about to spike.
Because now you can't have these.
Right, so now you physically not balanced what we doing here.
You heard her, people. Don't, if you're a diabetic, do not eat the cookies. Bake them and pass them out. Go give them to somebody else, okay?
So just being very conscious, but it is a lifestyle. I hate to say that because it's so cliche. Like, oh, it's a lifestyle. It's a routine. It should be a routine. It should be something that we are intentionally giving ourselves. Not because I worked hard, I did, because I'm a person and I show up every day as a person. I deserve self-care.
I love that. It's not because I did all these things. It's because I'm a human, because I'm alive.
Yes. And I'm living this life.
Yes. Girl, do you hear me? Lifing. Finding an opportunity to have self-care is I think it's such a thing that we take it for granted, right? Mm-hmm. We just jump right into our day. We get up in the morning, mm-hmm. we jump into our day, and we just run, and then we crash. Mm-hmm. And we're like, what happened? But it's because we didn't charge our battery. Mm-hmm. I will never look at self-care the same, because you said that. You're like, hey, my watch is on this %. And I feel like, how many times do we as Black women carry all the things and we walk mm-hmm. around at 30%? We walk mm-hmm. around at 20%. For some of us, we walk around at 3% with the red light on, and we just keep going and going and going.
And have you ever seen somebody whose phone about to die? Oh, it is a crisis, baby. I got to go to Dollar Tree. Yes. I got to go to Walmart. I'm going to pay $20 for this charger in the mall because I need to charge my phone. It's a dire emergency. So we should recharge ourselves. It should be a dire emergency.
Girl, what would you say is the one thing, if you could give advice to all the Black moms out there, whether they're Black moms, aunties, godmoms, cousins, whoever they are, what is one piece of advice that you could leave us with and say, like, about self-care? Like, this is one thing that I want you not to forget. And it don't have to be one sentence, because mm-hmm. nobody follows those instructions. But what advice would you give to the people to say, like, hey, this is what you should do? Talk to the people.
What I've kind of already said, self-care is a right. You deserve it, and you should indulge in it. It is a right. And make it real. Make it for you. It doesn't have to be superficial. Social media, none of that matters if we're not whole. So make it for you, and it is a right. And own it. Just like we own all our other roles. I own it. I'm a mama. Can't nobody tell me nothing about my baby, right? So I'm going to own my self-care. That I have to take care of me. And don't feel bad about it. It's not selfish. And I think as women, we have been tricked to think that it's selfish, and our role is to give, but nobody can give what they don't have. So own it and enjoy it.
Girl, you just said something right there, because that's another one of those things. Self-care, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to, what are we talking about? I'm just taking care of myself.
Exactly. And that's why I don't even, the idea that, it's okay to be selfish. Well, I don't like that term, because it ain't selfish to take care of me. It's like a natural human right that we all do. So.
Because we should. I don't want to
label it as being selfish. It's being intentional. It's okay to be intentional. Because if we're not intentional, we'll forget a whole lot of things, right? So I got a planner because I'm intentional about not missing my meetings. Yeah. I need to have a self-care routine, so I'm intentional into charging it to me. But taking care of you is never selfish.
At all. But that's what we've been taught to believe. Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming to hang out with us today for a little bit, just to talk about this myth of self-care. And I hope that if nothing else, you gather that self-care, it has to be intentional. It's got to be something that you like. And you have to learn the difference between coping and self-care. Because a lot of us are just out here coping.
Mm-hmm. You got to recharge.
And we didn't even know it. Battery is on 3%, just blinking over here. And we over here doing stuff to cope, and the battery never gets recharged. Mm-hmm. Tell the people where they can find you if they need to come therapy or anything else.
Yes, you can find us on all social media. You and I, the letter I, Family Wellness. UandIFam.com. That's the letter U, AND, the letter I, FAM.com. And our phone number is 773-599-1198.
Thank you so much. If y'all need some therapy, come and talk to Mercedes, because she's the real deal. Yay. And definitely she can help you through finding some of these self-care routines so that you can stop coping and stop just basically living life and start thriving. And you know where you can find us. Thanks for coming, and hope to see you on our next episode.